Hopefully you guys stuck around. Like I said in my last video, this is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a top 5. I haven't done one of these in a while. So I wanted to do it because I've been saying I'm going to do it and I like to keep my word. So in this video here is going to be my top 5 future starlets. Pretty much, when I was younger, I was growing up on Jennifer Love Hewitt and people like that, like actresses like that. Now you got a whole bunch of new crop of really good actresses growing up. I remember when seeing Dakota Fanning when she was in a few movies and thinking this girl's going to be really good. Then you got Jennifer Lawrence, who's really good. She should be in my top 5 too, but if I had a top 10, she'd definitely be in it. This one here is maybe some names that are now getting into the limelight, but before might not have been such familiar names. So what I'm going to do is 5 starlets that I think are going to be really big coming up in the future. This first one, she's been around for a while. She's definitely older than these next few that I'm going to talk about. But she, has been in a lot of movies that are, I guess, not big titles, a lot of underground horror movies. But I think she's one of the better actresses. Seeing her play different roles. I mean, there's only certain roles you can play in certain horror movies because it's pretty much and especially with the girls, you're pretty much running around trying not to get killed. But she's in a few different movies with different roles that she has to play different ways, and that is Katherine Isabelle. I don't know if anybody knows her, but Katherine Isabelle. This is one of my favorite movies that she's in. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But American Mary, I'm not the whole that tech savvy where I'm gonna have a little picture here and whatever. So you're gonna get my version of it. But Katherine Isabelle, I remember seeing her first in the Ginger Snap series. If you don't know what that is, definitely check it out too. It's lower budget werewolf movies. It was her and her sister, and they first one they get attacked by a werewolf, and she starts turning into one. And if you haven't seen the movies, definitely check them out. There's 3 of them, but this one here, she plays a nursing student that trying to pave her way, trying to make some money. She ends up going to a strip club, and then was gonna do the whole strip thing in college, trying to make money, but something happens, and she ends up making more money by doing these crazy surgeries. Definitely check this one out. Definitely check the other stuff that she's in. Um, Definitely check them out. But like I said, she's been around for a while. I've known her for a long time, but maybe she just hasn't been in the limelight. So definitely check Katherine Isabelle out. This next one is another one, who hasn't done these mainstream, these big uh, movies that some others might have, but I think she's really good. She's uh, a lot of independent films too. She's in Thailand. She's in Cabin in the Woods. She was in that Case 39 with Renee Zell. Is it Renee Zellweger? I forget. Case 39. She's also in Silent Hill. What's her name now? Jodelle Ferland. That's slipped my mind, but Jodelle Ferland again. She's not really in these mainstream, these big movies, but for the way she acts, the different roles she portrays herself in, definitely one to keep your eyes on. Um, I enjoyed pretty much every movie. Thailand, I only caught parts of it, but Case 39 was an interesting plot line. Silent Hill, I liked it. I liked the first one definitely better than the second one, and she plays a role in that just the way she plays her character. Uh, Definitely, I think it's going to be a up and comer. Definitely one to watch. So that's Jodelle Ferland. These aren't going to be any particular order. These are just 5 that I think are going to be in the next few years are just going to blow up. Um, this next one is Shailene Woodley. Um, Within 3 weeks, I think, of when I was collecting movies a couple months ago, I think in 3 weeks I got three of her movies. So I didn't really realize that she was in every single one. I got this one first, and actually I had the Spectacular Now she's in. She's in this one, The Fault in Our Stars. She's in The Descendants. And to tell you the truth, I didn't realize it. I was watching this one for this one, the first one out of all three. I own the other two first, but this was the first one out of the three that I watched. But her in this one, if you haven't seen A Fault in Our Stars, definitely a great movie. She just plays this role of a sick patient, a sick someone with cancer, and just the way she portrays herself, how she can change emotions very quickly. I was very surprised. Really good. Then Spectacular Now she's in, which she plays a whole different role. She's not sick. She's trying to help this other kid out, and just the way she acts. And then being in The Descendants with George Clooney. If you haven't seen The Descendants, definitely check that one out. She plays a completely, you know, badass character, I guess you want to call it, where she's a rebel, she parties and everything. Completely different from this, completely different than Spectacular Now, where she's like a quiet type. So just seeing people being able to act in these different roles, is really impressive. I mentioned Dakota Fanning before, so I have to mention her sister, Elle Fanning. She's in Maleficent. She's also in, was it Super 8? She's in We Bought a Zoo. And I saw her in Super 8 first. And I remember watching it and thinking to myself, I was like, at that point, I didn't know who she was. I didn't realize her name. I really didn't see her before that. But I was watching the way she was acting, and I'm like, this reminds me of just her mannerisms and the way she talked and the way she sounded. I'm like, it reminds me of Dakota Fanning, and lo and behold, it's her sister. So all comes to fruition. But again, in Super 8, she was really good. And We Bought a Zoo, she kind of played like this little ditzy, like, uh, younger person who is helping running a zoo with her cousin, and then a boy comes along and she starts falling for him and everything. And then in this one, she plays Cinderella, and she plays it well. I mean, her role in this one isn't as huge. Well, it's pretty big. It's pretty much the second biggest role in this, but I think she's gonna be a future star. Just like I love Dakota Fanning when she was coming up with all the movies she was doing for such a young actress too. When Dakota was small, so she's probably has the best of both worlds. She's pretty good, but then she's also got her sister to, you know, take notes from and teach her different ways of doing things. But Elle Fanning, and finally, this I think she's gonna be really big, really big time. Uh, Chloe Grace Mortez. She's in If I Stay. She's also in the Carrie remake. She's in, was it the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. She's in a few other ones, but this girl I think just has it a little bit of everything. I remember seeing her in a few movies that weren't mainstream. I forget what the movie was now that I first saw her in, but I remember seeing her, in a Diary of a Wimpy Kid. She really didn't have that big of a role, but she got a big break, I think, with Carrie. And then this one, she comes out and I not really um, the sentimental sappy type, but I'll watch them and I'll enjoy the movies. And this one, I think, is one of her better performances. I think her performance in this movie made the whole movie. Um, but this one, I think this girl is definitely one to watch in the future. Chloe Grace Mortez. So those five right there, or my, you know, if I had to pick, if we had a draft and everything, and I'd say who's going to be in the next few years, who's going to blow up, who's going to be in the mainstream, who's going to be in a lot of movies and be really good. I'm going to say those five girls, women, young women, are going to be uh, the future, the up and coming stars, starlets of the movie industry. So, if you agree with me, if you know these girls and agree with me, definitely leave a comment. If you don't agree with me, leave a comment. Actually, too, tell me yours. Have a video response and let me know what you think. If you have a different take on it, if you see other people that I might not have mentioned, there are definitely others. Like I said, Jennifer Lawrence is another one who is just gonna, with the Hunger Games, is just going up there. I watched Silver Linings Playbook, which is definitely another good one she's in. So she's definitely another one. I just couldn't fit her in my top five, I guess you would call it. But she's definitely would be in my top 10. But again, if you have anything different, if you have a top five, if you want to add anything, if you disagree with me completely, definitely, interact, make a video, leave a comment down there. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully, me throwing something different catches your fancy or catches, interest in it in you. Um, yeah, if there's anything else you want to see, I'm doing a lot of hand gestures, but if there's anything else you want to see, let me know. And until the next time, I will see you.